this is Gears217 and welcome back to another commentary. This is what I promised last time, which was I think it was my first attempt actually, of an mp412 Akimbo mob. I'm terribly sorry, I don't remember the subscriber's name who asked for this. I can't remember whether he sent me a personal message or wrote on a video whether he wanted to see this. And I have actually got longer streaks. I think I got a 22 gun streak as well, but I died to final stand, and the guy was with Blind Eye Assassin ACR, I think, and he didn't seem to pause when he fell into second chance, so he just carried on. I mean, not second chance, final stand. He just carried on spraying as he went down, and I died to it, and I was rather irritated, so I just turned the Xbox straight off. So that game didn't save. So unfortunately, I can't show you that. But this was probably the strongest game I think I've ever got with this. I think the final score was 46-9, which is not an unrespectable score, but considering it was pretty much just using the pistol, I think saved 2 kills with the P90 and about 3-4 with the model. It was pretty much all just so 40 kills. I reckon about 40 kills with this gun, which is, I think, quite respectable. A little bit about the gun. I still don't like it. I think it looks overly chunky. I don't know what, it's sort of personal preference. I much prefer the Akimbo Magnums. If I'm going to put one on, I would much prefer them. Or the sort of advantage to using them over the FMGs is they swap out a hell of a lot faster. You watch me sort of swap between weapons, it spins out so fast. The reload speed is really good. They are very strong close quarter weapons and a secondary backup, which I feel really should be part of the sort of Call of Duty games. Like, I like the sort of premise that they've tried to add a bit of diversity by having a larger selection of secondaries rather than just the pistols and the rocket launchers that Treyarch have. But I think it needs to just go back to pistols and rocket launchers. And I think rocket launchers need to be cut down to the fact no RPGs. I know I might be upset people there, but the RPGs are mainly used in games which need you to take out vehicles, and there not being any vehicles, there doesn't seem to be any point in them other than they're just overpowered noob tubes in essence, and they wind me up as well. So I hope I'm not upset any people. That kid I just killed, I'm pretty sure was constantly using Akimbo FMG9s, and you'll see quite a few times during this game I actually beat him. So they aren't all powerful, the FMGs. These are much stronger at close range, but the FMGs do have the sprayability and the ability to kill more than one person at a time, which these do suffer from. This I think was that death was one of the worst ones in the game. My teammate, I don't know what he was doing, he shot 2 bullets into this kid and then ran round the corner into me and just sort of dragged this guy's bullets into me. I was a little bit annoyed. I got very close to leaving, and I was like, no, I'll carry on. I'm actually doing alright. These kids aren't that great. And yes, before you say, the kids aren't brilliant players. Then you're never going to have an amazing game with a bad gun if you're playing against the best people on YouTube. I'm never going to be able to pull out sort of 100 pluses or mobs with shotguns against strong players. Well, not never, but very rarely you're going to be able to do it, and even less so when you're using just pistols. So yeah, they weren't bad, they weren't brilliant. And other thing was, the map does kind of suit very close quarters engagements, as long as you keep them spawning so they read that. I prefer if they're spawning at C rather than A, because A you kind of a bit more open, which unfortunately we did sort of I don't really, we didn't really. We sort of had them a bit more as A rather than C, which is a bit of a shame. That was a nice long range kill, which was quite surprising. But yeah, it does kind of favour very close quarter weapons, and I think these are either a 2 or a 3 shot weapon. So when you're using 2 of them, you pretty much only need to fire the gun 3 times and you've killed someone. I feel it might be a 2 shot. I could be wrong, so please correct me on that. I did have to pick up a P9. I didn't have to pick up. I decided to pick up a P90 because I was struggling at sort of hitting people at long range. So I resorted to picking up someone else's gun, which I have subsequently changed this class up slightly to actually start with Scavenger, because you run out of ammo so fast with it. I kind of felt if you like, it needed to have Scavenger because of the extra ammo capacity you gain when you first start off, and if you leave it as sleight of hand as your first unlock, when you get your first kill, you've got the faster reload and you've already got the extra ammo capacity. So I would definitely recommend doing that. Also, most classes, if you're going to start or have Scavenger as your first or second unlock, I definitely recommend sticking it as your primary, especially with weapons like the AA-12. Start with Scavenger on that and have your first unlock as a sleight of hand. It works out so much better because you run out of ammo, you chug ammo so fast with it. It really does help to have that extra ammo capacity if you've got Scavenger Pro. But yeah, I have subsequently also changed the primary. As you notice, I was using the model, which was a cunning ploy of mine to stop myself using the primary as much as possible, to force me to use the secondary. I have subsequently changed from the model to the PM9, just because occasionally you do need a bit of long range. Admittedly, the PM9 is probably not the best choice for long range, but it does have a bit more range than the model, which is why I've sort of subsequently changed onto that. As well as that, the most annoying death I think I faced in this game was coming up quite shortly. It was, you've seen me try and shoot this kid in that little room over at A, and he was just sitting there sniping the whole game, and it wound me up for a while. But sort of thinking back on it, I was actually not as annoyed as I could have been. Like, I think this is the death. I was on about, I don't know whether it was a 14 or 15 gun streak, and he's just sitting there with Recon, Stalker, and Assassin. Stalker on a fucking sniper rifle. Like, you need to strafe around corners. But in some respects, I'm actually pleased that he was doing that. He was doing more or less what a sniper should be. A little bastard sitting there on his jammer. He was sitting there sort of... It's annoying that he was there, and he did kill me at that point, but at the same time, I kind of feel he was playing the sniper role in essence to perfection, for the very simple fact that the sniper should be the strongest weapon at long range. And I'm just going to interrupt, that death was absolutely amazing. Like, I haven't got a body fly like that for a while, but so I want to chuckle, rewind and watch that guy fly. It was funny. But yeah, I kind of feel the sniper rifle should be the strongest at long range, and they are strong at long range. But from having well, in this game and Modern Warfare 2, you had Sleight of Hand Pro, and in this game Quick Draw Pro, which allow you to aim down sight so much faster that they've become that they can be very strong if used in the right hands at very close range as well, just because the sights come up that fast. And you're not always guaranteed a one hit, but you're very often or not to get a one hit shot with the sniper rifles. And I kind of feel it needs to, well, I hope with the next Black Ops game they go sort of keep it the same as Black Ops sniping. Because it kind of weeded out, it sounds awful to say, but weeded out the badder snipers who just run around and try and no-scope and quick-scope all the time. Because it was harder, they kind of sort of prevailed on sort of moving on to other things, which sort of made it made it more of a sort of skill to be a good sniper, and you got a lot more of the good snipers running around, and they didn't dominate at close range as well as long range. I don't think dominate's quite the right term. They're very strong at long range and close range, which is kind of irritating, especially when you're using like a shotgun or an SMG, which are meant to be the stronger weapons up close, and you sort of run around the corner and you see a sniper and he drops you at 3 foot away, and you're like, that's just not quite the way it should be, is it? And also, this is another thing that really bugs me about sniper rifles. The Barrett, that just has no place in the game. You should not be able to... I know it's a semi-auto sniper rifle in real life, but there is no way in hell that you should be able to fire it or spam off the whole 10 clip that fast. There needs to be a severe fire cap ratio on it. I know you can fire it that fast, but you just physically couldn't. And I know this game isn't realistic, but that is just wrong, and that really annoys me to a huge extent, and I really hope that they take things out like that, which was a wonderful thing about Black Ops, and the fact they didn't have that. The closest thing you had to it was the PSG, which you couldn't really spam off, and it wasn't particularly accurate at sort of hit fire. So anyway, other than that, I don't have any qualms with snipers, other than I think they just need to be nerfed a bit, or go back to what they were in Black Ops or COD 4. I don't mind them in COD 4. They're annoying because literally everyone did it, because I think by the time I got around to the game it was sort of a bit old, and that was what everyone did on COD 4. So yeah, I kind of accept that. I think that was fine. It didn't scope in too fast and it was balanced. Anyway, this has come to the end of my long rant about snipers, so I do apologise for that. This video has come to a close, so thanks for watching. Please leave a comment and a like rating, and I shall see you next time. Goodbye for now.